Hey guys, Chart Stoppers back with another video. In this channel we take a look at different stocks and map out their key support and resistance areas on their chart. It's important to know these areas before you buy any stock, and it's also important to know what kind of a trend a stock is in before you buy into it. Support and resistance is one of the most important things you should know about a stock before you either buy or sell. And also if you're doing any day trading, swing trading, or options trading, you're definitely going to want to get familiar with support and resistance and this channel. Just to let you know, I'm not a financial expert. These videos are for educational purposes only, but I am here to point out key factors on the charts which do impact the price action of a stock. I also provided a link in the description for Webull. You could use it to start an account and you'll get 2 free stocks. And I also provided a link for Robinhood. You could use that to start an account and you'll get 1 free stock. And just to let you know, we will be doing 3 videos per week on 3 different stocks. So if you have a recommendation for a video, leave a comment below and I'll try to get to it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and have your notifications on so you don't miss out on any new content here. Alright, so let's get into the market today. Today is August 23rd, 2021. It is Monday, and you could see we are having a very good day in the market today. The S&P 500 is up over 1%. The Dow is up 0.79%, and the NASDAQ is up 1.65%. So a big Monday in the market. Hopefully the rest of the week continues like this and everyone has a great week trading. Alright, so let's get into the stock I wanted to take a look at today. Today I'm going to be covering Peloton. I've done a few videos on this one in the past. I'll provide a link in the upper right hand corner to my most recent one. You should be seeing that right about now. And you could go back and check that out and see how I got to where my chart is now. But right now, today, Peloton is currently trading at $107.20. It is down 87 cents today, which is the equivalent of about 0.81%. In the past week, this stock is down almost 2% here. In the past month, it is down 11%. And in the past 3 months, it is only up 5.33%. In the past year, it is still up over 53%. So pretty mixed on this stock. If you bought in a year ago, you know, you're still good. You could see here back in March of 2020, right before this stock took off, it was trading under $20 at around $17 here, and 70 cents was the low that it made back in March here. And you could see since then, it really just took off straight up. It traded all the way up to $171 here. That was the 52-week high it made, and that was on January 14th of earlier this year. And since then, we've had, a pretty rocky road with this stock. It's been up, it's been down, but mostly, it's been down since hitting that 52-week high here of $171, and we're back down to the $100 range now. And you could see on my chart, I have a line up here around $167. That is where we're going to want to get to in the future, and we're going to need to close above that level there. We've never been able to close above there. You could see intraday we went above there, hit that 52-week high, but then quickly sold off. And you could see that's a major resistance up here as it sells off every time it gets to around $167. So we'll need to see this thing close above there and hold if we want to see it make a new high. Going down on our chart here, you can see my first support line under my 52-week high is $128, and that's a big resistance point for this stock also. You could see it was former resistance on the way up here, and it sold off after getting above that point. And then just recently, we traded back up to that point around 128, and it sold off after hitting that. So you saw a little bit, it almost got up to there in this area right here around April, and it also sold off. So that's going to be a big area if we do get a bounce here sometime soon. We're going to want to see this thing get above that $128 area, and we're going to need to see it close on the daily chart above there and hold if we want to see it move up back to that $170 area for the new all-time highs. All right, going down from here, I have my major support line is going to be around $100. All right, you could see that was resistance on the way up. It turned into support after it broke that area. We had a nice bounce back in November of last year off of that support, And from that bounce, we went on to make that 52-week high of 171. And then on the way back down here, you could see we had a bounce right in here. That was in March. Traded back up to around $125 here before selling back off. We lost that support for a little bit here for about a month, it looks like, from late April to around late May here. We lost that support, traded all the way down to around $80 here, and that was where we saw a nice bounce from $80 to around $127, where we got rejected at that resistance point. So we're going to be watching this going forward here. As you can see, you know, we are in a downtrend here from my chart. Let me zoom in for you. You can see this red line is representing a downtrend that we've been in since around July here. The middle of July, we hit this resistance point, and ever since then, we've been slowly selling off along this trend line here. And that's what I wanted to point out for you, because I also have this white trend line here, and that represents the uptrend we've been on since March of last year after hitting those lows right there. So you could see my trend line goes all the way from there, hits this low we made in May here, and then it shoots through there. So we're coming up to a cross point here where these two trend lines are going to intersect. Either it's going to continue to follow this downtrend here, this red line, and break the uptrend it's been on since March, or it's going to have to bounce off of this trend line here in the white and continue its way higher along that white trend line. So we're going to see it, it looks like around the middle of September we have until it has to decide which way this stock is going to go. So we're going to see, what's going to happen around then. But until then, it looks like we're in this pretty strong downtrend here, and it's pretty clearly defined on the chart, as you can see from my red line there. Also, from looking at our chart, you can see here I have the 200-day moving average is in the yellow here, and we are trading below that currently. You could see we lost that 200-day moving average back here in April, and that has been acting as strong resistance ever since losing it here. We really haven't been able to recover it since April. As you can see, we did get above there for about, a week or two, right around the middle of June here, but we fell back below that, and now it is acting as strong resistance. Another thing to point out is this 50-day moving average, also in the dark blue here. You can see that was acting as resistance on the way down there from those all-time highs here, and it kind of acted like a trend line down. It was acting as strong resistance here, and you can see we got back up to that 50-day moving average back in April, and it got rejected off of that moving average. So we'll keep an eye on that, because we are currently below that also. So we're going to have two strong resistance points moving forward, that 50-day and that 200-day moving average. Also, we're below our 21-day moving average here in the light blue, 30-day moving average in the green, and our 8-day moving average has been acting as strong resistance also since about the end of July here, when we fell below there and we started in this downtrend. So every day it looks like we trade up to that 8-day moving average before we sell off below there to finish the day. So keep an eye on that 8-day moving average every day. Once you see a break of that, that might give this stock some momentum to the upside. All right, now I'm going to switch over to our weekly chart, see what we could find on here, and it looks like we are below all of our moving averages on the weekly chart. You could see the 50-period moving average on the weekly chart here in the blue was acting as support, was kind of following our trend line that we have here in the white, and we lost that just a couple weeks ago here. It was acting as support, and now we are trading below that. These are the lows of the correction we just had here back in May, and you could see we fell below that 50-day moving average then. We were able to regain it for a couple weeks here before falling below it again right now. So it looks like our 30-day or our 30-period moving average here in the green is also acting as resistance for this weekly chart here. So keep an eye on the 30-day in the green that's been acting as resistance during our weeks. So if we'll trade up to that 30-day moving average on our weekly chart before we sell off every week. So keep an eye on that every week. If we do break above that, I think that will be very bullish moving forward. Looks like my trend line got moved here. Sorry about that. So that's what it looks like. You can see the trend, the uptrend clearly defined here on our weekly chart in the white, hitting that low of the correction here in May. And hopefully we're going to trade, maybe trade down to there where it intersects with our $100 support line here, and then have a nice bounce off of that trend line. That's what I'll be looking for. If we don't get a nice bounce off there, I think we will continue to trade down along this trend to $80 again before seeing a bounce. So we'll keep an eye on that. We're getting very close to that $100 support line, so we'll keep that in mind in the future. All right, so let's switch over to the 4-hour chart, see what's going on there. And as you can see, the 50-day moving average right here on the 4-hour chart is clearly acting as resistance. As you can see how closely it follows this trend line that I have, this red trend line. The 50-day moving average on the 4-hour chart is in the dark blue here. So you could see clearly that has been acting as resistance during this downtrend that we've been on since around the end of July. So keep an eye on that. That's going to be, we're going to need to get above that 50-day moving average here in the blue before we can move up and get out of this downtrend. So that's going to be what we're going to need to break this downtrend. And also, keep an eye on that. I'm going to switch back over to the daily chart. Keep an eye on this 8-day moving average here in the white that I have. We're going to need to see it break above there initially before the break of the 50-day on the 4-hour chart to show us that we're out of that downtrend. So we'll be watching that one first, the 8-day on the daily chart, and then we'll watch the 50-day on the 4-hour chart, which has been acting as strong resistance to confirm that we are out of this downtrend. So I'll be looking for that to confirm in the next couple weeks. If not, I'll be looking for a bounce off of this support, or I will be looking for it to trade down to $80 if we don't get that bounce and if we break our trend line here. All right, so that's about it for this one. If you guys like the video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and have your notifications on so you don't miss out on any new content here. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time on Chart Stoppers.